application development of E&E applications and the charging infrastructure. Mark Marbach is also owning a university degree in mechanical engineering from Aachen University, also specialized in plastics processing, plastics engineering. From 2008 till 2012, Mark started his Lanxess career in Hong Kong in the CAE department and was later on responsible for the technical marketing for E&E applications in Asia Pacific, plus technical support for Japan. Back in Germany, he took over the role as global key account manager for Bosch and other customers like Kostal and Hella. Since middle of 2017, Mark is responsible for the sales segment E&E within the HPM EMEA organization. Before we now start with the presentations, just a few organizational topics. You might eventually see two of us in front of the screen without wearing a mask. Please be informed that we all passed a corona test directly before this meeting and we are keeping distance. In case you have problems with the bandwidth of your connection, it has been proven to be advantageous to deactivate your VPN client. And important, please feel free to ask questions during the presentation via the chat function. The chat is kept anonymous and the questions will be answered either immediately after the presentation or afterwards. You can also request the presented slides via the chat function or via the email from which you got the invitation for today's meeting. But now I will hand over to the speakers of today, and Mark Marbach will do the first section.
Thank you, Martin, very much for the introduction. Very much appreciated. Okay. Yeah, before we start with the presentation, I would like to start with a question which I also asked myself during the preparation of this presentation. What was my first contact with electromobility? When did it happen? Mine happened quite, I have to admit, quite a while ago, 35, 36 years. I think it was 1984, 85, something around this, at a fun fair in Bergisch Gladbach, when my dad brought me to this auto scooter bumper car, and they are electrical driven small bumper cars. And that was the first time when I realized electromobility is not just fast and quick and fun. It's also cool, because that's where the guys were during these days. But let's start with the presentation. Okay, the agenda of today. As I know, as some of you might not know Lanxess, might not know HPM in detail, I will spend a few minutes on our CV. What are we doing? Where are we located? And so on and so forth, to give you a first glimpse of what HPM is actually like and actually doing. And this will be followed by a brief market outlook. The reason behind, does it make sense what we are doing here? Or is it because we spend time and money on it, and yeah, it should be worth the time. The second part of the presentation, let's get charged, is mainly about material solutions for the applications we are talking about. Sarah Lürs, she will give you a short introduction of different materials, which might be the material of choice for you for the one or the other application. Plus, this is my personal highlight of the presentation, the modular charging inlet concept, created, innovated, designed by Lanxess, by the technical colleagues of the Lanxess HPM team. I hope you are as impressed as I was when I saw these slides and also this development the first time. Overall, we hope to give you a clearer, on the right, it does not look like, but at the end, we hope to be able to give you a clearer picture of what we HPM are doing and how we are able to support you during your development of the different applications. High performance materials, HPM. a leading supplier of engineering plastics. What are engineering plastics? Engineering plastics are basically polyamides, PBTs, polycarbonates, and some others. For us, for Lanxess, engineering plastics means PA6, PBT. On those two grades, those two polymers, we are backwards integrated. And to complete our portfolio, we have also added PA6 hooks into our portfolio. Where are our compounding facilities? Are we a global company? And I have to say, yes, we are. We have global facilities all around, compounding facilities all around the world. We have one in the US, in Brazil, then we come to Europe, it's in Germany. We go further east to China, there we have 2 locations. We have India. So you see, globally, we have a compounding setup. So we are able to supply you wherever you are, or at least nearby. On top of this, we have in the main regions also application development centers. So when you maybe, sometimes it happens, you start a development in, let's say, Germany, and you continue it in the US, for instance, we have colleagues in the US to follow up closely, also hopefully soon it's possible again in face-to-face meetings, or as we're doing it now in WebEx Teams or whatever kind of meetings. The support I'm just talking about, we call it high-end services. Sarah will give you a little deeper dive later on what this exactly means and what is under the package of high-end to understand. Our brands, Durathan, Pocan, and Tepex. Durathan stands for polyamides, Pocan stands for PBTs, and Tepex stands for our composite materials. Okay, in the value chain, where is Lanxess placed? Lanxess is between the raw materials, like